to be an entrepreneur, so, you know.
Yeah, he excelled at that out of school.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight for our Village of Alsip board meeting. Today is July 15th, 2019. We'll call this meeting in order at 7:32. Can we call the roll, please?
Yes, Mayor. Trustee Dalzell.
Here.
Trustee Zielinski.
Here.
Trustee Juarez.
Here.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Here.
Trustee Murphy.
Here.
Trustee Nava Esparza. Here. Mayor Ryan.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Trustees, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to change up our order this evening on the agenda, just on my reports at the beginning here, and we'll go back to regular business. I appreciate the crowd being here tonight. Thank you for being out here, but this way we can take care of basically your business, unless you're really interested in sitting through a whole meeting tonight. That's your prerogative and stuff. So I'd like to start the meeting with first, we'll take this a little bit out of sequence on the agenda. I had the pleasure of getting a email recently from one of our residents, Jay Henry. Jay's a big athletic, he's a running enthusiast, and he sent something to my attention. I mentioned it to the board about a month or so ago, and I asked one of our residents to come in this evening. I'd like to acknowledge his accomplishment, and basically on a personal level, and as well as represent our community. I'd like to introduce an Alsip President, Chris McGarry, and acknowledge his recent accomplishment of competing in the 6 stars of the Abbott World Marathon Majors. Chris has run in marathons in all of London, Berlin, Chicago, Tokyo, Boston, and New York City, spanning a time span from 2013 till 2019, just recently. Chris, would you come up? We'd like to acknowledge you for what you've done. So, Chris, can you just give us 2 minutes, like a little Q&A? Like, what did you do?
Sure. So what I did was, over the last 6 years, I pretty much ran the globe. There are 6 marathons in the world that are called the Marathon Majors, and one of my goals was to just run them all. So what I did was become extremely dedicated to the sport of running. Probably put in about 2,500 miles of outdoor running a year. I completed all of these in under 3 hours. And yeah, I would just like to say this is extremely humbling to be up here. I certainly don't run for the accolades of running. And thank you.
So I just wanted to ask the generic question. I don't travel as much as I'd like to and so forth. What did you think about all the countries that you visited, like Berlin and Tokyo and places like that?
Berlin is by far my favorite city that I've been to. I just fell in love with that, the whole country in Germany in general. We ran that marathon, and then we went down to Oktoberfest in Munich a couple days afterwards. I've been told I had a very good time there.
How'd you look in Lederhosen, Tim? You know? All right, that's the important stuff.
What happens in
right?
Berlin stays in Berlin.
Thank you. Very good.
And then Tokyo just absolutely floored me. The fact that there are so many people living in that Tokyo land proper. It's about 38 million people. When you think of Chicago and the Chicagoland region, that's 6 million people, and that feels crowded on a day-to-day basis. Tokyo works, and when you see it in person and to kind of grasp that in person, it's just amazing to realize how much more this world actually has outside of Chicago, and go see the world.
Nice to hear. Hey, Tim, I think it's so. I've been only in office a couple of years, but whenever I have a chance and I see something so special like that, certainly I appreciate your efforts for your own, like you said, personal accolades, yes, but, as far as representing a community like ours, we're happy that the fact that you are part of our community and so forth then, too. So thank you for doing what you did. And again, not many kids ever have a chance to participate in so. And you had told me on the phone, what did you do? You just saved up every season? You found a different place to hit?
No, I just kept applying to get into these marathons,
Yeah.
and it's a pretty competitive process. Some of them do require time requirements to get in, so Boston is very particular. You have to be around 3 hours, 3:05, depending. It fluctuates year to year. Tokyo and London are extremely aggressive for people from outside the country for their application process.
Any idea where what was one of your best times? How'd you do?
Fastest time to date is for the majors is Chicago, and that was about 2 hours and 46 minutes.
And that's 26 miles.
26.2, yes.
Gotcha. That's flying. That's flying, Chris. But again, it's good to meet with you, and thank you for coming out this evening, too, as well, then. Okay.
Thank you for having me here.
Sure.
Thanks.
Okay. Next on the agenda, I'd like to ask the Alsip Chamber of Commerce and the Alsip Industrial Association to please come up. We're going to introduce the recipients of the college grants that we were going to hand out to the folks that won those grants. Tonight, if you would, please, who wanted to come up? Gus Vanderbrink, Jim McKenna. We have Donna Grunberg from Ray Products. I'm sorry, I should say what you represent. Gus Vanderbrink's with Sertoma. Jim McKenna's with Allegro Printing. We have Vince Cullen with Eastwood Products. That's up here then, too. Oh, Chamber of Commerce tonight. All right, thank you. All right, I want to give Eastwood a plug. And Denise, are you part of this as well then, too? We're not. Okay, all right, well, thank you. Thank you for being here then, too. Donna, thanks for coming out tonight, too, as well. So,
We'd like to get the awardees.
Okay.
So we can get a picture.
Absolutely. So I'll ask these folks to come up. We've got Marissa Carmente. Marissa, I said, is it Carminetti? Carminetti, thank you. Elisa Zaldivar. David Vasquez. Emily Rads. Elizabeth Janinga, I'm sorry. Please come on up. Is there one more? Well, right here, right in front. So, go ahead, Don, if you wanted to say something to everyone, please. You have one of those cordless mics. Can you give that to Donald, please?
I venture over here and then go back and just like sit and get a breeze. And maybe it's That's okay.
You sit here.
That's okay.
It has a green light.
There you go.
There we go. I'm Gus Vandenbrink on the, actually I'm on the Chamber and the Alsip Industrial Association Board, and we are just very, very happy that we had a successful three-club golf outing and that we were able to do the scholarships again. So we want to congratulate the recipients and wish you all the best and study hard and get good grades. And there are two other scholarship awardees that are not here. So would you like to just say a word and tell us what you're going to study, all right?
Okay. I am going to the University of New Mexico, and I'm going to study psychology in hopes of getting into medical school so I can become a psychiatrist.
I'm going to be going to the University of Illinois at Chicago. I'm going to be majoring in human development and learning with a pre-track in occupational therapy.
I will be going to the University of Louisville studying physical education.
I'm going to be going to Loyola studying chemistry and hoping to go into med school.
I will be going to Moraine Valley Community College and then transferring to either UIC or University of Illinois, and I will be studying mechanical engineering and or chemical engineering.
My name is Vince Cullen. I'm the president of the Chamber of Commerce. I had the privilege of reviewing some of these applications that these young people had. What I want to say to the group tonight is everybody fears the future, the new generation coming up. They're not what the generation was that just went ahead, or our generation. After reviewing some of these applications that these fine young people put in, I have no fear of the future. These are some brilliant young people. They've done some excellent work throughout their high school years, and I am totally confident that as they go forward into their college ranks, they're going to make all of us proud. Local students from Alsip, congratulations, all of you.
Okay, thank you everyone for coming out. Thank you. Good luck. Okay. As I said, everyone, you're not offending us. If you want to stay for the meeting, you're welcome. If you don't, certainly that's your prerogative. You're welcome to leave if you wish. But, you know, we'll conduct the rest of our meeting now then, too. Next, we've got the red light camera bid opening.
Thank you, Mayor Ryan. The request for proposal was posted on the website, and they were due today. There's two that have been submitted. I'm going to go ahead and open them up and try to highlight just a couple of the items that were supposed to have been included. The first bid that we've received is from Safe Speed. Okay, again, this proposal is from Safe Speed LLC, 150 North Wacker Drive, 8th floor, Chicago, Illinois, 60606. Some of the scopes of services that were to be provided were to provide a contract to be approved by the village for 3 years of service with a 90-day notice prior to renewal for an additional 3 years. Upon selection, the contractor shall also evaluate intersections in the village to determine if the existing 7 cameras should remain or which intersections should be eliminated from the red light camera enforcement program. SafeSpeed has included their municipal client references. They have also included their business license and authority to do business in Illinois. They've included the project management implementation plan, which is a detailed summary of its plan for implementing the desired services under the compensation proposal. They're to provide an explanation of its proposed compensation model. The contractor must disclose any charges or fees not included in its base price that the village would incur. Let me see if I can extract that information from here. Base price compensation consists of two components: a processing fee, which is a fixed rate incurred upon payment of the violation, and a monthly service fee. The fixed monthly management fee charged per camera covers a significant portion of administrative and maintenance costs. I am not seeing anything specific here as far as what that is. No liability for costs and the contract award. So there are a total of 8 binders submitted here for SafeSpeed.
One per person.
The second proposal received is from Census Gatso Group, 900 Cummings Center, Suite 316-U, Beverly, Massachusetts, 01910. They have a program overview. And they do list a fee structure. So these will be referred to committee for review.
Yeah, and for the record too, Gatso did send me a note asking how many copies we wanted. I actually did tell him one was sufficient. I didn't realize the other guy was going to send 8, so I did approve just the one coming in here and so forth then too. So.
And those are the 2 bids, Mayor.
Okay, we'll refer those to committee next week. Next on the. Before I start my report, I did want to bring something to everyone's attention. I did have a meeting just before this one started with Deputy Chief Sean Schultz regarding Veterans Parkway, and it's been recommended that we don't have any signage at the Veterans Parkway, and apparently, Chief, if you want to speak to it, I don't know if you have a mic available, but you were recommending we at least post some small signs that, like you do in most public areas, that it's from dusk till dawn, the park is closed?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Reason being, we're getting people that have congregate late at night. They're sometimes playing loud music, leaving garbage behind, things like these, just making kind of a mess and causing disturbances there. It's mainly at night after dusk. We're asking that Veterans Plaza have actually hours of operation, because as it stands right now, other than asking them to leave, there's nothing for us to enforce at this point.
So much like a park operates the same way. And for anyone that's not familiar with this area, this is a green space owned by the village on Main Street, Pulaski, at 118th and Pulaski. So, any questions, trustees? Anybody have any question or issue with it?
Nope.
Okay. Then I'll, Mike, if Public Works can look at it and put the correct signage together for that. Okay. Next on your agenda, I had on here, we'll move to the other, number 2 on your agendas is the approval of an ordinance of the Village of Alsip approving a Class 6B assessment status for the real estate located at 12530 South Springfield Avenue, PIN number 24-26-300-26 in the Village of Alsip, Cook County, Illinois. Next, number 3 was an approval to close the Village Hall at 2 p.m. on Friday, August 9th for an employee appreciation barbecue to be held on village property. Next, number 5 was the approval to have the village attorney amend the distance for consumption of alcohol from the Village of Alsip's current 300 feet to be compliant with the Illinois Liquor Control Act of 1934, determined at 100 feet. Next I had on here was the approval to create a Class A, which is basically a full bar liquor license, for Rocky's Place, soon to be located at 11545 South Pulaski in Alsip. The village board previously gave approval for a Class E license, which was a beer and wine, at a previous meeting, and this approval will dictate construction on premises. In other words, they're trying to, if they're approved for a full liquor bar, they know how to build. They're under construction right now, so they know how to build the bar to accommodate more than just beer and wine, is what they're saying. So they just want to know that we're okay with that before they go further with their construction, because they're under construction right now. And then last, number 7, was the approval to discontinue, I'm sorry, this was an error, not a big deal, but this was supposed to be under economic development, so I'll leave that for economic development, number 7, when we get to that. And that's all I have. Clerk's report?
Thank you, Mayor Ryan. I have the approval of the June 2019 monthly FOIA report. There were 20 requests last month. Also have the approval to post to fill a vacancy of a deputy collector position in the clerk's office. And finally, the presentation and approval of the May 20th, 2019 Board of Trustee meeting minutes. That is all, Mayor Ryan.
Okay, thank you. The attorney's report, we have Mike Hankar with us.
No report, sir.
All right, Mike. Thank you. Engineer's report, Will?
I just have an update on the resurfacing project. The contractor is planning to start with curb and gutter removal and replacement in the Chapel Hill Estates subdivision on the 29th.
The 29th? Okay.
That's all I have.
And obviously, what's he doing? Just going to do one subdivision at a time, or is he?
He plans on going from area to area, doing one side of the street at a time, so that parking is not obstructed.
Okay. So again, we're going to be doing the Chapel Hill subdivision, the Creekview subdivision.
Correct.
And Shirley Lane.
And then the 2 alleys.
The 2 alleys near Demon Dogs over that way.
Exactly.
Okay. Thanks, Will. Public forum, anyone in the audience wish to address the board this evening? Nobody? Then we'll go to standing committee reports. Finance Committee, Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes, first I have a request for approval of a list of payroll dated July 5th, 2019, totaling $526,091.63. Next, I have a request for approval of accounts payable dated July 15th, 2019. From the recap, General Fund, $591,778.50. Road and Bridge, $12,781.19. MFT, $3,401.08. Pulaski Road Corridor TIF, $993.75. Water and Sewer, $1,136,287.62. Heritage, $38,716.95, for a grand total all funds of $1,783,959.09. And that's all I have under Finance, Mayor.
Thank you. Fire Committee, Trustee Murphy.
I have approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 9, Fire Prevention and Protection, Article 1 in general, Section 9-4, Fire Alarm Systems of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip. And number 2, I have approval to disregard the previous bid proposals for the replacement of the overhead doors and operator motors. And 3, approval to qualify the higher replacement personnel of the fire prevention officer, as Doug Daniels has submitted his resignation as of July 26, 2019. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay. And again, Board, we discussed number 2 at the last week's meeting. That's 6 total overhead doors and motors.
A total of 12 motors, correct?
12 operators, right, 6 doors.
Right.
And when do you expect to go back out to bid?
I'm sending the information out this week, so the next board meeting is when it would be, I'm sorry, the next committee meeting is when it would be brought up again for the bid openings.
Okay.
So you're going to have the bid opening next week?
No, we skip a week.
Yeah, there's 5 Mondays.
So 2 weeks from today.
Good job, guys. You passed the test.
We know our days off.
It's only because I reminded them.
Next, we have the Police and Traffic Safety, Trustee Dalzell.
I was given a letter from Chief Miller regarding one of his officers, Nicole Byers, and he indicates in here over the past several weeks numerous animals have been recovered, brought to the police station, and eventually took to an animal shelter. Having realized this issue as being burdensome for herself and her fellow officers, Nicole Byers took it upon herself to make an inquiry to a veterinary hospital. In the process, the cost of obtaining a chip reader so that they could find out the owners in a more timely manner. Not only did Officer Byers obtain the information on the chip reader, she obtained the chip reader free of charge from the Avid Identification Systems, Inc. It was a donation. Officer Byers' initiative and problem solving for this issue has certainly improved the operation efficiency of the agency, and I want to thank her.
That's great.
That's all I have, sir.
Very good. Thank you. Next is the Public Work and Boat Launch Report, Trustees Juarez.
I have an approval of the June 2019 Public Works Department Monthly Activity Report. And Mike would like to inform the board that this Sunday, July 21st, Bass Fishing Annual Derby will be taking place at the Alsip Boat Launch House Landing. Approximately 30 participants are expected and will begin at 4 a.m. Boat launch staff will be on hand to collect parking fees and assist boaters launching that morning. Please contact Mike if you should have any questions.
Mike can be out there at 4 o'clock in the morning, wave all the boys on, you know.
There's bass in the Cal-Sag.
I think they usually can have it go out to better waters for bass.
Right.
Wouldn't eat that bass.
That's actually a pretty good ride, too, from us to the lake. It's well over an hour or so to get down there.
Pack a cooler.
Yes. Next, the Sewer and Water Report, Trustee Nava-Esparza.
Approval of the June 2019 Sewer and Water Department Monthly Activity Report. That's all, Mayor.
Okay. The Building and Health Committee, Trustee Zelinski.
I have an approval of the June 2019 Building Department Monthly Activity Report. Also an approval of the June 2019 Health Department Monthly Activity Report. Then an approval of a block party to take place on Bank Drive on Saturday, August 10th, 2019 from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. And next I have an approval of a block party to take place on 4400 West 118th Street on Saturday, August 10th, 2019 from 8 a.m. until 12 a.m. And that's all I have tonight.
Okay. So,
Not usually.
I was just looking, we can fix that, the 4400 block of West 118th Street. Okay. Next was the Human Resource and Insurance Committee, Trustee Murphy.
No report, Mayor.
All right. Special Committee Reports, Economic Development, Trustee Nava-Esparza.
Approval of the June 2019 Economic Development Monthly Activity Report, and the approval to discontinue the use of economic development consulting for the Pulaski Avenue TIF by the Mannheim Group.
All right, thank you.
Mayor, in that contract, is there any out provisions? Are we just doing a month to month, or there's no terms, or?
No, it was an open-end,
Okay.
open-end agreement.
Thank you.
Trustees, and certainly if anybody felt the need to go an extra month or two, certainly you can speak up, but otherwise we can see this, obviously we'll finish this month out, and that's it.
Who will be taking care of all the loose ends that they have right now?
Becky Smith, my assistant, is the point of contact here, along with trustee Nava Esparza right now. Until. And then anything interior-wise, like as far as numbers and so forth, our finance director, he's on vacation right now. He'll be back by Wednesday, but he's totally informed all that he had to. He should be able to handle that task. Next, you have the village property report. Trustee McLaughlin.
No report this evening, Mayor.
Okay. Ordinance and Legislation Committee, Trustee Zelinski.
I have an approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 12, Licenses, Permits, and Business Regulations, Article 19, Tobacco Products of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip. Also, an approval of an ordinance authorizing Verizon Wireless to lease a cell tower in the Village of Alsip. That's all I have tonight, Mayor.
Okay. And so two trustee, right before the meeting this evening, in my mail from our attorney's office from Lewis Kankar Limited, I do have that agreement with me too, so we can.
It's in there.
Okay. I'm saying hard copy, so we can acknowledge that right away. So I'll get this to the clerk when we get done.
Sounds
good. Next, information, IT, Trustee Dalzell.
No report, Mayor.
And Plan and Zoning and Licenses, Trustee Juarez.
I have an approval of a list of licenses dated June 25th, 2019 through July 5th, 2019. That's all, Mayor.
All right. Trustees, any petitions, presentations, or communications?
No.
Just a reminder that, yes, there is no meeting next Monday, the 22nd. And secondly, I would like to ask the trustees, as well as Mayor Ryan, to please diligently try to get any items that need to be included on the agenda turned in to the clerk's office on Thursday. The department heads have been very good about getting it in. We need your approval before it can be placed permanently on the agenda. So if you can follow up with that Thursday evening or Friday morning in a timely manner, it would help the clerk's office tremendously.
Just kind of a side note on that. A lot of us, working regular jobs, we don't have access to email. I found that them texting me, hey, you have something in your inbox, works very well. So Erica's been really good about that.
And that's why I said, if you can pay attention to do it Thursday evening, I understand. I also have a full-time position as well, so or in the morning. But if you could try to stay on top of it a little bit more, we'd appreciate it.
Actually, wouldn't it be more efficient just to have the department heads or whomever prepare those items for the agenda, and then if we have an issue, take exception with something, have it either removed or we can remove it at the meeting itself?
It does seem
The
kind
procedure is that the department heads email into Erica and myself and copy the head of their committee. And it is that the head of the committee needs to approve it before it is permanently put onto the agenda.
I guess I kind of agree with Rick. Why do we have to do it that way?
Right, yeah, it's not a state statute.
Not like we ever say no.
Sometimes we say no, but it's very rare, and so 99% of the time it is going to end up on the agenda anyway.
Right, it can get pulled anyway.
Yeah, right.
So
if it
Well, it's your own, it's your own procedure. You can do what you want to do. You can change that.
Right.
That makes sense.
So it still remains the same. You want something on there, fine, but if you want to ask your department head to add something to that's fine. You can do either one.
Well, generally speaking, the department head emails and requesting the trustees for approval.
Right.
So if you want to just eliminate the approval portion of it, I'm sure there'd be a happy face.
I would love to have that happen.
I would love to have a happy face.
Yeah, but I do think it's easier that, if we take exception to something,
well, then
we reach out and say, no, pull that one off.
Yeah, for everyone but the fire department.
For everyone but the fire department. Sorry, Chief Szynski.
So it would be on unless noted otherwise.
Right.
Does that sound right?
You're still welcome to do your own thing, but like, again, unless you objected to something, it's on there.
Right.
Going back to what we used to do before then.
Fine. Okay.
So
Good plan.
if you can review, and if you see something, please respond ASAP that it is not. Otherwise, I will let Erica know that everything that is submitted by the department heads is on the agenda. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Trustees,
My department head is great, just so you all know.
He owes you money,
Did you
right?
pay? Did you pay her?
So next, number 8 was, trustees, does anyone want to remove anything from the consent agenda?
Mayor, I would like to remove item C and item L.
C like Charlie, L like Larry.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, can I get a motion to establish a consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Whoa.
Choose them.
Okay, roll call number 1 to establish the consent agenda. In recap, letter C like Charlie and letter L like Larry have been removed. Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Nava Esparza.
Yes.
Motion carries to establish.
Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
Second.
Roll call number 2 to approve the consent agenda as presented. Filling in some information. Letter A, approval of an ordinance of the Village of Alsip approving Class 6B assessment status for the real estate located at 12530 South Springfield Avenue, PIN 24-260-300-026-0000 in the Village of Alsip, Cook County, Illinois, will become ordinance number 2019-07-4. Letter H, approval of a list of payroll dated July 5th totaling $526,091.63. Letter I, approval of a list of accounts payable dated July 15th, 2019 totaling $1,783,959.09. Letter J, approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 9, Fire Prevention and Protection, Article 1, in general, Section 9-4, Fire Alarm Systems of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip will be known as Ordinance Number 2019-07-5. Letter O, approval of an ordinance amending letter N, approval of a block party to take place on 4400 West 118th Street on Saturday, August 10th, 2019, from 8 a.m. till 12 a.m. Letter O, approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 12, Licenses, Permits, and Business Regulations, Article 19, Tobacco Products of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip, will be ordinance number 2019-07-6. Letter P as in Paul, approval of an ordinance authorizing Verizon Wireless to lease a cell tower in the Village of Alsip, will be ordinance number 2019-07-7. Again, this is roll call number 2 to approve the consent agenda as presented. Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Nava Esparza.
Yes.
Motion carries to approve the consent agenda as presented.
All right, thank you. Trustees, we'll go back to a couple items that were removed. Letter C was the approval to have the village attorney amend the distance for consumption of alcohol from the Village of Alsip's current 300-foot and be compliant with the Illinois Liquor Control Act of 1934, determined at 100 feet. Trustee McLaurin, do you have a question on that?
No, I would like a separate vote on this, Mayor, in all honesty, I don't think 300 feet is enough. I think we need to be concerned with the protecting of our children and less fortunate individuals, and we should not have consumption of alcohol literally right on top of where they're at. I think the 100 feet was probably catered toward the city of Chicago, where you have plenty of multi-use buildings, and they're right on top of each other. So 100 feet in the city of Chicago, great, but I think in Alsip, we can do better.
The Liquor Control Act of 1934, I'd like to just state for the record, sale near churches, schools, and hospitals. No license shall be issued for the sale of any retail alcoholic liquor within 100 feet of any church, school, other than an institution of higher learning, hospital, home for the aged, or indigent persons or veterans, their spouses or children, or any military or naval station, provided that this prohibition shall not apply to hotels offering restaurant services, regularly organized clubs, or to restaurants, food shops, or other places where sale of alcoholic liquors is not the principal business. And that's why I wanted to identify with this. We've got a couple of parcels in town that about a year or so we were trying to identify one over at the Demon Dogs to say that the township, where Township Hall was a place of instruction, which it is after school, and they had summer programs there and so forth, but it doesn't necessarily fall into the description of what the Liquor Control Act of 1934 was. I also had an organization approach me a couple weeks ago, and they were interested in purchasing a property right here at 123rd and near Costner, 43. It used to be occupied by Bailey Mechanical. I confirmed with the building commissioner that building's been empty for almost a year. It's actually 158 feet from Sertoma, and it's a $250,000 building that these gentlemen would like to purchase. They've actually got a what's used to be commonly known as a social athletic club, and it's only to serve. It might be alcoholic beverages to their own club members. No retail sales there of any type. And again, Sertoma, great institution. Certainly, it's a place of instruction. But they've also asked for a liquor license for a private party coming up next month yet too. So I mean, it's not, they're not serving it every day, but obviously it's complimentary to whatever type of party event that they may be having at the same time then too. And that I can tell, there's only those two establishments in town that would fall at this time under this provision. But I hate to think that we're hampering a sale of properties. We struggle a little bit with the Demon Dog. That stayed empty for a while, and that's under construction right now to meet whatever needs that they have over there. But I would like to accommodate a sale if we could. Bailey Mechanical was good enough to relocate within the town as well. They got a bigger location over behind Central Crane. So again, I'm not asking to totally do something that would be obnoxious or to hurt our community in any capacity, but sometimes you don't want to hamper progress as well too, and especially like the sale of a property at $250,000 that an organization would like to buy for their own, how should I say, for a special interest group. So that was the reason I put this on the agenda this evening. I brought up to the board a couple of committee meetings ago too that they were interested in doing that. So can I get a motion and a second?
I'll make the motion.
Second. Roll call number 3 to approval to have the village attorney amend the distance of consumption of alcohol from the village of Alsip's current 300 feet to be compliant with the Illinois Liquor Control Act of 1934 determined at 100 feet. Again, roll call number 3. Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Zielinski.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
No.
Trustee McLaughlin.
No.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Nava Esparza.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next was we were going to discuss letter L, approval to qualify and hire replacement personnel for the village for the fire prevention office, as Doug Daniels has submitted his resignation as of July 26th this month, 2019. Trustee McLaurin, do you have a question?
At this time, I would like to make a motion to table, as we did not get to discuss this at committee.
Yeah, this just came up the other day, so we want to put out there.
The other thing too is we got 2 weeks before our next committee.
Mhm.
We're going to have a gap. I only have one part-time fire prevention office, and we have a lot of stuff going on, especially with these Keltron alarms. I've been working with Sinead for the last couple weeks. I knew this was going to happen. So,
Chief,
replacing somebody that we already had in place.
Chief, any of your fire inspectors, they're not qualified to do
They're
that?
not qualified to be able to do the same work.
And what was, and don't get me wrong, what was special about Mr. Daniels' position?
Fire
That
alarm test, fire pump test, plan reviews. He goes out and meets the different businesses for different types of inspections and stuff. Our fire inspectors are only trained as fire inspectors, that's it.
How about Mr. Schmidt? Is he qualified for the same?
He's got his hands full, he's over hours every week now, and we always have to worry about him working over hours because of IMRF and 600 hours, and he works part-time in another village on top of it. So I'm trying to close the gap in what I'm going to have going on there. And like I said, fire prevention is busy all the time.
So if the board approved this, Chief, do you have somebody in mind that's got the qualifications?
No, I have to send out the applications, and once we get candidates, then they have to be interviewed, and once I come up with a candidate that's going to suit our needs, then they have to go for a background check plus a physical. So I'm looking at least a month away right now, even if I post the applications tomorrow and I get somebody within the next couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to close the gap of what I have in place.
I understand. And sometimes, as the trustee said, like a lot of things in this world, sometimes you got to stretch it a little bit, yeah. So the trustee, your request was table?
Motion to table.
Okay. Is there a second?
Is there a way that we can continue the application process while we discuss this in committee? Or would that be counterproductive?
Are we voting against ourselves here, Mike?
Well, you can always change your mind. I mean, it's going to take time. I'm sure you'll still be in the process before you have your next committee meeting.
About a month for the whole project.
No, I'm saying, but you still probably wouldn't have somebody selected by the time the board would have a chance. The board would have a chance to say, no, we changed our mind.
Mr. Attorney, could we amend the language to approval to start the application process then?
Yeah, that's semantics to me, to be honest
Right,
with you.
right.
I don't think that really means anything.
Yeah, and
Sure.
And what we've discussed isn't that we're sitting there and trying to reduce staffing. There's obviously a demonstrated need. So to kick the can down the road here, for what purpose? If we're going to replace a person, we're going to replace a person. Not hiring them today, but certainly the chief needs to be able to get the green light. And if there was a thought that it was overstaffed or unnecessary, then that part I get, but it doesn't seem that that's the case.
When we come to the park for hiring, I got to come back to the board anyway with the name anyway.
Right.
Also, is there a separate pay structure for the fire prevention officer?
Yes, there is.
So there's a different starting salary and where they end up and everything? Okay.
Correct. And actually, this starting salary would be less than currently what Doug makes, and it's within our budget as well.
Okay. So the way we stand, trustees right now, obviously, Trustee McLaurin, you made a motion to table at this point. Is there a second to the table? If not, Trustee, did you want to, I'm not going to ask you to rescind that. Did anyone want to make the motion to approve letter J then? I'm sorry, letter L, I apologize.
Would it be okay with Trustee McLaughlin to have them continue?
Well, that's what I just asked. I mean, you can either rescind, your motion.
They say, yeah, my motion failed for lack of a second.
That's
So
what I'm
you guys
saying,
are free
right.
to do whatever you want to do.
Right.
I'm not hiring nobody yet, I'm just
Right.
in the process.
So you still have to go through our approval anyway?
Right.
Absolutely. Right. I'm not trying to circumvent it.
And I apologize, Trustee, that's what I was saying, for lack of a second, that's what I was asking. If anyone want to make the motion to approve them.
I'll make the motion.
Second. Okay, this will be roll call number 4 to approve letter L, approval to qualify and hire replacement personnel for the Fire Prevention Office, as Doug Daniels has submitted his resignation as of July 26, 2019. Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski?
Yes.
Trustee Juarez?
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin?
No.
Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Navas Barza?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Next, the Do we have any unfinished business? None? Any new business, trustees?
May I?
Good.
I formally, in a public forum, I just wanted to thank the ladies in the clerk's office for their work for the past few months. It has been very taxing. On behalf of them, I would like to thank the board for approving to post to fill a vacant position. In retrospect, to give you a little bit of information, fiscal year 2018 to 2019, the clerk's office handled close to 51,000 transactions. That is corporate, road and bridge, and water. That includes processing cash and check. We handled almost 31,000 pieces of outgoing mail. That is not including what is incoming, so the office is extremely busy, and being down a person is very taxing. So on behalf of the clerk's office, I would like to thank you for letting us fill a position, and again, I would like to thank Erica and Elisa and Tiffany for stepping up the past few months and doing a stellar job. There's all, Mayor Ryan.
Very good. And that's all we have for this evening. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Folks, thanks for joining us this evening. Enjoy the rest of your night. And we'll adjourn this meeting at 8:25. Thank you very much.
Sign these, please.
You too.